believe in chemistry to the sound of violins. I believe that what you see isn't all when you forgive. I believe that identity is a race to grace. And when you know what I'm singing about, then will you begin? I believe that hope will rise. I believe in a better life. I believe when you rise, you'll rise in the darkest before the light.
Hello everyone and welcome to episode 12 of I Believe. My name is Jamie Claire. For those that already know me, welcome. For those that don't, welcome and thank you for joining me today. We have a lot of stuff that has happened since our last episode in just life. I would love to share with you just some of the highlights on some of this summer I've been having. And so one of the things a couple weeks ago, my sister came and visited me. And for those that have a really good relationship with their sister, you know that that means party. So this past weekend, or not past weekend, a couple weekends ago, my sister came from Washington State, which is where she lives, and about maybe once a year we go country dancing. She comes down and she's a diehard fan for country music and country dancing. I'm not quite the natural dancer, but I love her so much. So I went dancing and had an amazing time, and her friends came down as well. So already, I know we are getting to the end of July, but already it's been a wonderful summer. Her daughters came down, my nieces have all come down and visited me, and I got to be the most amazing auntie that sings. You know what I mean? It's like I look at them and see how they see me through their eyes. It's like the most just warming and touching feeling, you know, just to see how I've inspired them. And so again, that has been happening this week, and I know I talked about a couple episodes back about a sailing adventure that my oldest niece and I had. Well, with my youngest niece, I was actually able to have her come to one of my performances that I had a couple weekends back as well. And I love to see her. She was in the front row, and it was very, very precious moment. You guys, I can't tell you how amazing my last weekend was, where this whole month, first of all, by the way, my birthday's coming up next Tuesday, everyone holla! And so this whole month, I decided that I was going to treat myself to a birthday month, actually celebrate it daily. I haven't really done that before. Has anyone else done that before, where they took a whole month? Whether it's, just like, I'm not talking about like, you know, expensive excursions every day. I'm just talking about simple things where, as well as more, you know, extravagant things. But I have treated myself to a coffee some days. My parents are the most amazing. So my mom has put like a gift for me to open every day, because she knew that this year I really wanted to celebrate the whole month. And turning 25, it's really, I feel like, whoa, where did I was 21 2 days ago. And so, anyways, last weekend, I was able to check off on my bucket list something I've been wanting to do, and that is go to Catalina Island, which is, first of all, we're coming live from Lomita, California, which is near Los Angeles, California. And so one of the things that we have here is an island so close by called Catalina Island. And I have always looked at that island and said one day, as I stand on the shore, I just said, one day I am going to be on that island. Little did I know that a last-minute adventure was in store for me last Friday. and then the whole weekend. So a friend of mine invited me to come out Friday afternoon, got on the ferry ride that goes to the island Friday night, and then spent the whole weekend with a friend of mine and her friend on a boat, just really, really enjoying life. There were stars. I'm a stargazer. Everything was just the beauty of God. You could just see the ocean. It was, it was so mellow, so calm, kind of how I like it. And then I was on a boat and just really enjoying sea life and getting into the water. Now, that took a bit of convincing to get into the water. For those that know me, I'm more of a sand baby, meaning I like to walk or hike or, just do something that doesn't involve getting in the water. But I was so glad that I did. The owner of the boat, he has this paddle board. And so I did stand-up paddling. For those that are like, I don't even have water near me, let me tell you what paddle boarding is from a very amateur perspective. So pretty much surfing, it's like a surfboard, and I mean, like, they make them a little different. Some of them, I guess you can stand on a surfboard, but what I stood on was a little bit wider than an actual surfboard. And what you do is it's like this big balancing act. You eventually want to stand on the board, and then you have this paddle that even now I feel like I'm on that board. I mean, there's like, those the motion when you do something for at least a day and then it feels like you're still doing that thing, like, running on a treadmill or something. That's how I feel sometimes, is I'm still rocking on that boat or on the paddleboard. And so I tried it. I got in the water, and it was such a great challenge for me this past weekend, just as much as like facing fears. I faced a fear of getting in that water for whatever reason, and I have that fear, and I think it's from not being able to see what's in the water, that whole thing. And so when I did, I was like, yes, I want to do that more. So, and I ended up just really becoming a water person, really enjoying my time, and had just great hospitality. There was just so many memorable moments. So this whole summer, and especially my birthday month, has been wonderful. So again, next Tuesday is my birthday. So on Wednesday, you can say happy birthday to me. I'm still celebrating the whole month. And so I hope all that to say, there's been a lot going on, and I hope that your summers have been going well. I hope you've been getting out into the sunshine. Hopefully there's sunshine where you're at. I know in California that the weather has been really hot and just really, for some a little too hot, but for me it's just been enough. I've been inside way too much throughout the year, and I'm so ready to continue being out in the outdoors, breathing the fresh air, and just getting a tan on. I have not had a tan in a very long time, so this is my moment. So yeah, a lot of stuff, and again, summer is not quite over. Maybe it is for some people that are going back to school, but my school is life. I'm not going to school. I went to school. And so for those out there that are like, yeah, every day is a school, it's a lesson, I'm where you're at with that. So we're going to go into the quote that really has been, that really stuck out to me throughout this week. And it comes to you from an American author with a PhD in anthropology, which is the study of humans and human behavior and societies in past and present. And it's the man's name is Carlos Castaneda, and this is what he says. We either make ourselves miserable or we make ourselves strong. The amount of work is the same. So true. It's like, it's how you invest your energy and your time. So that's what I wanted to just expand upon. When I read these quotes, I'm starting to think of how it applies to my life, how, just like we can challenge each other, and this isn't something that I've mastered at all. I mean, I'm still trying to find that balance in life. Is there anyone else out there? Hear me. Woo! And so these are some questions I I've asked myself, and I continue to ask myself, and I also want to ask you, because this is to share with each other. And that reminds me that while we are live, because right now we're Facebook Live, and for a lot of people, that's how you are seeing this right now. And so you can call into this number in order to answer, to give feedback, to comment, and that is 424-305-4344. Again, that is 424-305-4344. And let me tell you, I want to hear from you. I had a caller a couple weeks ago, or maybe, I don't remember how long ago, but it was the most highlight of the whole episode, being able to talk one-on-one with you. So please know that I am excited, I'm giddy, I'm ready for your call. So call in anytime, and you're not bothering me. You're not interrupting anything I have going on here. I'm simply sharing my heart, my thoughts, and I want to hear yours. So call that number, okay? It's going to be on the screen all throughout the live show. And so these are the thoughts, these are the questions that I got from this quote. We either make ourselves miserable or we make ourselves strong. The amount of work is the same. One of my questions is, where is your energy invested? And I said that to myself. I said, Jamie, where is your energy invested? Is it invested in making yourself miserable, or is it invested in making yourself stronger? Everything we do takes energy. It's either constructive energy or deconstructive. And the thing is, I mean, throughout our day, throughout every decision we make, there's a mixture of both. I mean, if I knew the formula for making all constructive decisions with my energy, I think I'd be a superhuman right about now. And so all this to say, all this to encourage you that just be aware of how much is constructive and how much is deconstructive, because you have the power to decide. You have the power to decide how you want to invest your energy. And I mean, like, I'm also going to talk about, things that, as an adulthood, as you're adulting, that, there are decisions that you have to make out of other factors that aren't revolving around yourself. But where is your time invested? Start thinking about that. I know a friend that has this app that she uses, and she puts like her recreational time. How long is she actually doing recreational time? And then her reading time for her studies at the time she was going to school. So that was school, work, and she was really making a pie chart of all of what she was investing her time in. I thought that was really cool. It's not really my method, but I think that it's worth sharing. Definitely think that. It helps you figure out how much time you're investing in everything. And not to say I won't try it. How much work are you willing to invest in your dreams? Especially when what you mainly end up doing for a while may have nothing to do with those dreams. And that's what I mean by, for those that don't know, I'm a singer-songwriter. And it's been an amazing journey. Let me tell you, I've been doing this my whole life, music, because it is my life. My heart is just a musical melody. I don't know. That was on the spot. I don't know how to describe it, except for whatever your passion is and whatever you relate with 100%. That's music for me. That is songwriting. That is sharing that music. And so sometimes, there's life where you have to also pay bills sometimes when music's not paying those bills. And so how much work are you willing to invest in your dreams, even when there are obstacles coming? And again, I'm going to expand a little bit on my own example. Again, I want you to reflect on yours, and let me just share mine, because I'm asking a question. I need to answer the question as well. I've been working many non-musical jobs in the past, and as of late, to cover bills, continue with my music expenses. For those that have been following my journey, I am working on an original album that is very, very, very close to being done. It's going to be 5 songs, and pretty much, 3 of those tracks, almost 4, actually almost 5, are done. They're almost all done. And so all that to say, I mean, it is a musical process. For those that understand, it takes time in order to get a masterpiece done. That's what I've been working on. And as an independent artist, it takes a little bit more time, and you have to do, you also got to pay them bills, you know what I mean? So I've been doing a lot of non-musical jobs, just as much as musical jobs. I'm still very active in the music, but there is, sometimes you're doing one more than the other. Anyone understand me? Day job, artist, career, you know what I mean? It's not a work of passion that I'm doing and in the day jobs, even though, I mean, of course, I do the best I can, and I do a spirit of excellence. And sometimes I find myself in a funk. And, it's something that I have to be aware of. And in an episode that I've talked about renewing the mind. It's a daily process, and that the power of your thoughts does directly affect your heart. So I've been working on that just as much as I hope that you've also been fed by the what I've been sharing with you in these past episodes. And so, I find myself sometimes in a funk, and I have to realize that whatever the obstacle, curveball, or challenge placed in my life, I can either let it tear me down and my dreams, or I can use these moments as stepping stones to walk in life stronger, not just as an artist, but as a human being. And I feel like to tie into my birthday month, on Tuesday, July 24th, I am going to celebrate being born. And that before I was an artist, there's this saying that, you come out singing, like, oh yeah, she was a baby and she was singing when she was born. That wasn't the case. I'm sure I was crying, but that's not singing. And, all that to say that you are an artist, but beyond that, you're also a human being. You are a child of God, and putting your gifting aside, putting your passions, everything that you hope and want, you are also living this life in faith, trusting God in all the things that life throws at you. And so you can either let it tear you down, I realize, or you can take these moments step by step with the non-passionate things that you got to do. And you can find gratitude. You can realize that you and I am grateful for many different things, small things as well as larger things. And the more that I, it's like the more I have conversations with people, the more that I'm, willing to share, like now, just willing to share. And hopefully you're going to share with me too. Come on, share, call in. It makes you realize that we all deal with similar things, and that you are not alone. I'm not alone, and I have a lot to be grateful for. I have friends to be grateful for. I have new friends that I'm going to make that I'm grateful for. You have a life. You have one life to live, and so I realize that as an adult, as I turn 25 and I'm adulting, it's like if you lose gratitude, then you're going to start losing joy. You're going to start losing the appreciation for all of the blessings that God places in your life. So I encourage you, I challenge you, as I realize this, maybe give you some realization or just food for thought. Find a heart of gratitude. Find stuff that you're grateful for, the little things. Do you have a car? Do you have a roof over your head? Do you have water? All those things. And I challenge you to find gratitude. Recognize it and be grateful. I would rather allow humility to erase any pride than pride to erase self-investment, self-discovery, and growth, not just as an artist, but simply as a human being. Again, humility. You know, it's like so many times, you know, when you're in a car ride, you're like, you know, as a kid, you're like, are we there yet? Are we there yet? And a lot of times, but not every time, I find as an artist, as an independent artist, we're waiting to make a break. You know, you're just like, are we there yet? Are we there yet? And every corner, you're like, is this it? Is this it? Is this it? And then you realize, okay, first of all, you know, God's got everything planned out. He does. I believe in that. I believe that He has a plan. And when you trust in Him, you know, that is the greatest thing that we can do. Because trust in Him and then be courageous to walk in what He's calling us to do. And a lot of times, you know, if you don't know what that is, what He's calling you to do, a lot of times He's maybe calling you to wait upon Him in order for Him to then tell you what to do. Because sometimes, you know, in silence, I mean, I talked about a couple episodes back about alone time and how we can use that constructively, or that can, you know, we can feed ourselves the lies that we are literally alone, but we're not. We're never alone. God is with us. If we just allow Him to make Himself known, because He wants to be known. He wants to be present in your life. But we have to recognize when His Spirit is in the room, we got to condition our hearts, and with His help, condition our hearts to realize His presence, because it flows, it's constant, His Holy Spirit. And so we got to also recognize those prideful moments. I say we, and I'm like, I do, you know, to realize that, you know, in God's timing, He is going to fulfill the desires of your heart. If you ask Him, if you seek, and it sometimes doesn't look like what we want. A lot of times it doesn't. But God has something greater. He has something so much greater in store for us. So, you know, I have to deal with pride, realizing, okay, is this pride? Is this impatience? What is it? And so to just take that moment, take those Catalina trips, you know, invest time in yourself. I realize that this birthday month, I have invested more time in myself than I have in the whole year. I've gone outside more than I have in this whole year. And it makes me realize that, you know, as busy as we are, we have to, in order to healthfully, I think that's how you say it, healthfully progress, we have to take those moments, and those moments away from cameras, or away from whatever it is that you do, your work. You know, if you work a lot, you got to take vacations. I think it's so important in order to recharge, in order to recognize that you are loved and that God loves you and that life was meant to be lived abundantly. So we have the choice. All this to say, this has been on my mind for the past couple weeks. I've missed you guys. I know we've taken a couple weeks off. So we have the choice of choosing miserable pity parties, or recognizing that each challenge that's placed in our life, in my life, is an investment into our self-discovery, a chance to truly test the mettle of our dreams and who we are as human beings. That is what I believe, everyone. And if for those that are like, you know, you might not agree with me, so call in and let me know what you think, because this show is about, you know, what I believe. And so I want to know what you believe too. And with that, before I go into the rest of the episode, I found this amazing article out of Fast Company, and I brought it with me, and I'm going to read from it. It's the 132 Secrets of the Most Productive People, and I've been holding on to this magazine for a very long time, wanting to share it with you, and I felt like this was the moment to share it with you. So after we go into just a moment of worship, where I'm going to sing a song. Hopefully you're going to sing along with me out there. And so after we do that, you know, I just, again, recognize the things that you're grateful for, because with a grateful heart, it opens your heart to so much that God wants to just fill you with. And a lot of times it gets blocked because I'm talking about myself, we collectively, we can lose sight of that God wants to fill our lives with prosperity and abundant life and joy and hope and everything that's good, because He's good. God is good. And we block our own opportunity many times. And so I'm going to set up this with some worship before we get into how successful people are productive, and see if we can find some inspiration out of that. And the song I'm about to sing is called I've Found a Love. And this is by Ben Cantillon. And for those that know it, sing along. And if you don't know it by the end, then learn it as we go. All right?
When I call on your name, you answer. When I fall, you are there by my side. You delivered me out of my darkness. Now I stand in the hope of new life. By grace I'm free. You've set me free. Now all I am is yours. I found a love greater than life itself. I found a hope stronger and nothing compares. I once was lost, now I'm alive in you. I'm alive in you. You're my God, my firm foundation. It is you whom I'll trust at all times. I give glory and praise, adoration to my Savior who's seated on high. I found a love greater than life itself. I found a hope stronger and nothing compares. I once was lost, now I'm alive in you. Ooh,
this is what I'm most grateful for, everyone. I'm grateful that I have found the love of God and that He is constantly, it's a journey, He is constantly sharing that and showing that love to me. And in turn, I'm able to share that love with you and with everyone that I meet through a smile. All it takes is a smile, you know? Just something to show the joy of God and the love of God. And so know that you can have this as well, and that if you're searching, this is what you can find. You can find God and His love. Amazing. Worship and praise. My heart is worship and praise. Excuse me as I try to find my headset here. So I hope that sets you. That definitely set me in a mood of gratitude. When I praise, when I worship, there is nothing but gratitude that I can have left in my heart. So I also encourage you that as you're driving in your car, because I don't know about you, but a lot of my time is spent driving. As you are in your car, turn on a worship channel, or if you connect your phone, turn on your phone and connect it to music that's life. And I find that a lot in worship. I mean, it is talking about the giver of life. So, sorry, 1 second, you guys. So as we find gratitude, let us also, this is segueing into the next part of our show, let us also find ways to be productive or techniques to be productive. And so again, I'm going to be reading, for the material comes from Fast Company magazine. This is, if you want to go find it, it's the December 2017 to January 2018. And it has James Corden on the front, this right here. I don't want to lose my spot. Boom, can you see it? Yes, you can see it. And the article is by Benjamin Svetke. And so I'm going to read, before I go in and talk about my thoughts on it and how this applies to me, and when you call in and you tell how it applies to you, that is my challenge for you. Call in. This is talking about James Corden, who, and I'll read a little bit. For those that don't know who he is, check out Carpool Karaoke. Go on YouTube after this. After you go and look at my previous episodes on my channel, Jamie Claire, then go over to Carpool Karaoke and just have a blast, because he's a comedian. He has a late night show. He is so funny. He has some British humor, or Canadian, no, British, yes. And so here is a little bit from this article. James Corden's office at CBS Television City in Los Angeles is crammed full of showbiz clutter, ear-dogged scripts, award show trophies, a framed thank you note from a former First Lady, but there's one small item sitting atop a pile of magazines on a coffee table that Corden couldn't get through the day without. A simple artifact that plays a key role in the Zen order of his work-life philosophy. Quote from James, "I try to carve out 6 or 7 minutes of silence twice a day, which is where this thing comes in handy," he says. Picking up a little black sleep mask, the kind airlines give away in first class. Another quote, "Some people would call it meditating, but I don't do breathing exercises. I don't go anywhere in particular. I just do this." End of quote. He slips on the mask for a few seconds and assumes a blissfully blank expression. Quote, and then when I'm done, it's like restart. End of quote. I like saying that too much, you guys. The 39-year-old British stage actor turned talk show host looks like he could sorely use a 7-minute nap. He was up past midnight last night. His preferred bedtime is 8:45 p.m. In a Silver Lake studio recording a song for Peter Rabbit, Sony's upcoming animated, again, this is, I don't think Peter Rabbit's out yet, but anyways, this is a little in the past. Peter Rabbit, Sony's upcoming animated feature in which he voices the cotton-tailed garden dweller of British children's literature. He's been shuttling to Warner Brothers lot as well for post-production work on next summer's Ocean's 8, which I know is coming out soon, in which he'll co-star as an insurance investigator on the trail of thieves played by Kate Blanchett, Sandra Bullock, and Anne Hathaway. He's gearing up to host the Grammys this winter for the second year in a row. Then there is his duties as a producer at Fullwell 73, the production company he runs with best friend and business partner, Ben Winston. I'm reading all this because he's doing a lot. And so we need to know before we go into how he does his life. This is the full introduction of who he is. Fullwell rents offices right down the hall, where among many other things, it's creating serialized spin-offs of Corden's late night bits, such as Carpool Karaoke for Apple Music and Drop the Mic for TBS, plus a new reality show about pro soccer for YouTube, a platform where Corden has one of the fastest growing channels with 12 million subscribers and counting. Then there's his day job. So that's his passion project. Then there's his day job. He's the bloke behind the desk of CBS The Late Late Show, which shoots 4 afternoons a week on a soundstage next door to his office. I know that if I didn't seek out and do things outside of the show, this is a quote from him, I know that if I didn't seek out and do things outside of the show, I'd lose my creative mojo. And I don't want that to happen, but it is exhausting. What I've come to realize is that you just have to try to be present wherever you are. I think that's a big highlight. Be present wherever you are. You can't think about tomorrow or next week or even this afternoon. You just have to be in the best version. You have to be the best version of yourself right now. Now, keep in mind, I'm saying this as someone who's getting it wrong 25 times a day. Relatable. I'm just saying this what I strive for. It's the only way I know how to have success. And so that is about James Corden. And then I also, let me see here. It goes through this. The article goes through about I'm going to talk about another person that's in this magazine as well. But for James, it was having that mask and having 7 minutes alone, and then for his best advice, it was be present, be in the moment, and then of course to find things that will help you recharge. The next thing that we're going to talk about is. These are the questions that he was asked. Time he wakes up is between 6 to 6:30 a.m. For those that are not morning people, like myself, even though I have to be, that's when I wake up. There you go. There's the secret. First thing he does, he tells his son to go back to bed. Oh, always the comedian. His mantra is, if you're doing it wrong, do it strong. I thought that was pretty good. Commuting habit, because of the time difference between LA and England, I either call my parents or my sister or friends at home. I'll pretty much chat on the whole way in. So that was a good one. Do a lot of your conversations in the car. Of course, do them responsibly. Get a Bluetooth or a hands-free device. Okay? All right. Nightly routine. At the moment, watch a TV show, but I just finished it last night. I don't know what I'm going to do from this point out. Okay, for some people, yeah, it's TV shows or reading or something like that. But for him, that was him. And as I totally described, he's a busy guy. So maybe for someone out there, that was some inspiration. That is my goal here today, is to inspire you. So the next person that I want to talk about before I talk about myself is, and how this applies to me. for those that want to know more about me. This next person that was interviewed for this magazine is Donna Sakar, and she's the head of Windows Insider program at Microsoft, author, fashion designer, and blogger. All right? Okay. I really liked her answers. I'd have to say she was the most delightful to read, the one that I related to the most or could really pull from. And so I am just doing some highlights. I do have all these like little notes, these little stars and stuff, so I'm not reading everything. Don't worry. I believe that your dreams and your day job can coexist. That is how this article begins. And I'm like, okay, tell me more. Because I was reading this after the fact that I was writing about, what I said earlier about, like the non-passionate job, or whatever, just having a day job and then having your career and the balance. And she says, and I'm like, okay, I want to hear more. I believe that your dreams and your day job can coexist. And then this is her talking. If I have a pocket of time, 7 minutes or 20 minutes, I set my timer, do a work sprint. You can whip off 10 emails or 5 ideas in 5 minutes. If I'm going too fast, this show will be on YouTube. Please go back and rewind it or just ask me via email at ask.ibelieve@gmail.com for these notes. So a 7-minute sprint, 7 minutes or 20 minutes. She sets a timer. She whips off 10 emails or 5 ideas in 5 minutes. If I have 7 minutes to write a document, I will finish it. It may not be the best document in the world, but all the bones will be down, enough to the point so that I can share it with someone and ask them what they think of the overall framework. Whatever the opposite of FOMO is, I have that. I am too busy living my life to worry about what other people are doing. For the life of me, where does it say about FOMO? Everyone, just get this magazine. I forget what FOMO means. Somebody tell me, because I am still trying to get caught up with all of these alphabet soup. The time that she wakes up, now this is kind of crazy to me, is 4 a.m. So anyone else who wakes up at 4 a.m., you're crazy. You are absolutely crazy and amazing. First thing she does, and I love this, she writes 5 gratitudes, 5 worries, and 5 intentions. It's a way for me to prioritize what really matters. I like that, how she instantly is evaluating where she's been with gratitude, where she, what she's dealing with the worries, and then the future, her intentions, what she wants. So I wanted to share that. There was also productivity tools that she uses. And so, there's different things, there's different apps and stuff that she uses. Her email strategy is that she checks 3 times a day, morning, afternoon, and evening. I think that's good. I find myself checking it a lot. Keep on refreshing that button. I'm like, when's the next exciting thing? Let's get this. But I like her style. 3 times a day, not obsessive. Motivational object. She has a framed needlepoint that says "hustle," which one of my coworkers made for me. Which one of her coworkers made for her. I like that. I have in my own room, it's never too late to live happily, ever after. And I have little things, little reminders, on your desk at work or something, have some kind of inspirational posts in your studio. If you're a music artist like myself, have something encouraging that you can look at and remember. Oh yeah, that's a good reminder. Okay, now we talked about them, read from that, and now let's talk about me, myself, and I, until you call in, and then we can talk about you. So my work style, for those, so all of this got me thinking, how would I answer these questions? And so this is my work style. This is, of course it changes, and, as I get older, Next week, I'm going to be a year older, you guys. Oh, my goodness. I don't know. I mean, this all might change. I might have my midlife crisis. Kidding, you guys. I'm in a very funny mood right now. So this is my work style. And it is because of my day job. I am, kind of forced to wake up no later than 6:30 a.m. Ideally, if I could, in the perfect world, it'd be more like 8:30, 9 o'clock for the early side of waking up. And the first thing that I do is I check my phone notifications, check email, then out of bed, I start coffee, or maybe it's already started. Earlier I get up for more time. The earlier I get up, of course, the more time I have to get ready. And yes, the more peaceful it is as I'm walking out the door. But normally, just got to say, on average, I'm rushing out the door because I do wake up maybe 6:35 and rush out the door to get to work and grab a snack bar or grab my big jug of water and then eat at work, like find something to eat at work. That is normally my habit. And so my commuting routine, this is another question that was asked her. My commuting routine is that sometimes I listen to nothing in the car. Sometimes I listen to everything, like whatever I'm waking up. If I'm waking up in a peaceful mood, I might put on like an orchestra or classical music or just something that has very ambient sounds. Or if I'm really feeling spunky, of course I get out funk, R&B, soul, which is my heart. Well, part of my heart, of course. And so sometimes, though, because I am surrounded with music, and when you recognize it, you are surrounded by a lot of different noises. Like if you live in the city, just like white noise. And so sometimes it is really great where I just simply, it takes about 30 minutes to get to work for me. I'm sorry if you're jealous about that, if it takes you longer. I'm so sorry. I've been there, done that for school. And so I love just sometimes hearing nothing, like just the drone of the car as it's going. And when I do listen to CDs, I'm a little old school. I mean, I do have a connector for my phone, but I also have actual CDs. Okay, all right. I'm such an old soul. For those that have also like a little CD rack up on the visor of the passenger side. Yeah, that's me. I got one of those. I Amazoned one. Just last year, actually. So I still keep my CDs. I love them. So that is what I do for my commute. And then for work, it takes, again, like I said, it takes about 30 minutes. And when I really start feeling like in the work mode, again, in the ideal world, if I woke up a little bit later, had my coffee, I could be a sloth in the morning and I would be so happy about it. Like start waking up around noon or, start getting in the work mode at noon or 2, stay up late. I mean, that's the artist's dream. Am I right or am I right? Everyone's different, but that's me. But now, currently, this is what I do. So I feel like I start waking up around 9:30. I get to work at 8, and I feel like 9:30, after I've had another cup of coffee, I'm starting to feel fully responsive at whatever work throws at me. More so. I mean, it does take me a little bit longer to wake up. But my main day job is being a receptionist. For those that are like, okay, what is your main day job? It's being a receptionist. So, dealing with people, dealing with tasks, daily tasks that are the same, and sometimes very random. Like as a receptionist, you get thrown stuff, different tasks. Some days are different than others. And so I must be ready to socialize. And thankfully, I do have an extrovert. I do. I mean, I don't know if this is coming across, maybe a little too strongly. Who knows? But I do have an extrovert side of me, but I also have an introvert side of me. And especially in the morning. If you know what I mean, as a morning person, or I'm sorry, as not a morning person, you're like, do not talk to me. Or, I'm being a little harsh, but it's like, do not tell me anything that is substantially important until I am ready in the morning. So I have to just keep that in mind. It's like people do come to me at like 8 a.m. in the morning, and I have to start getting socializing right on the spot. So it comes with some mental practice. I have been doing reception work for several years now. So to end this, I mean, there's a little bit more, but the productivity tools that I use in my music career is a voice recorder, iPhone calendar. I mean, without my iPhone calendar, I'm just like promoting iPhone right now. I wouldn't know what I'm doing, because I would forget so many different things that are so important, and I use it for to-do lists. I also use my notes app for social media. I also use it for lyrics and for anything that is remotely anything that I'm interested in remembering. I use my notes app, and then I use a VSCO. That's what I like to use for photo editing for social media. So those are the things that I'm constantly using that are productive in my line of work. And then the email strategy is throughout the day, I like to delete junk mail. I do not like to have junk mail, and I get a lot of junk mail. Just from like stores and stuff like that. And with emails that I respond to, I like to gauge the importance of them and try to respond on the spot if I can multitask and do that. If not, then I respond later in the day after I'm done with my day job tasks. When I'm dealing with the news, in order to keep up with the news, I have this news app, and occasionally I'm able to sit down on the couch and actually watch it live. That's always a luxury, to be able to watch something live nowadays, I feel. But hopefully you're watching me live right now. Hey, everyone. So just saying that, as busy people, I get it. Motivational object that I have is a Pinterest board that I put. One of the mood boards, or one of the boards, is inspirational quotes. That's sometimes where I, excuse me, that's sometimes where I grab quotes for the show. Is through that. I'm just going through it and I'm like, yeah, that one, this one I can relate to, especially this week, that kind of thing. My best habit, I feel, again, this is all self-analyzed, my best habit is arriving on time to events, if not earlier. Of course, there's sometimes when traffic is unavoidable, but normally, with MapQuest or something like that, you're able to gauge the traffic. They're pretty good at it. Not spot on, but pretty good at getting you at the ETA. The worst habit used to be not drinking enough water, but now I got this big jug of water. I'm like 60 milliliters that I drink every day. So got that one checked off, actually, from this book, recognizing some of my bad habits. And of course, this isn't like everyone has. I'm not perfect, so not being consistent on small meals throughout the day. So I find that as I'm rushing, as I'm running out the door, I'm not getting enough, I think, food. What I mean by that is not eating it in good, consistent time. So that is something I want to work on, is really having meals throughout the day, little small meals, so that I'm not getting to where I'm about to fall on the floor as I continue my day. Time I like to go to bed is between 11 p.m. and 1 a.m. Of course, 11 p.m. is the later time when I have the day job. 1 a.m. is in my music world. I seem to stay up later. So thank you, everyone, for joining me. And we have just a couple more minutes left. I'm gonna finish off the night with just worshiping God again. I hope this was, normally on my shows, I talk about faith challenges, and the people that I have on that I interview, we talk about faith. But I really felt like this week, I just wanted to talk about productivity and things that, as we go through this thing we call life, we have to, I feel, have tools in our belt. Of course, faith being number one, and then little tools to stay productive and to really, seize the moment and seize the best that we can throughout every week, every day, every moment. So the song I'm going to end with is called "Oh Praise His Name." And this one is by Marty Simpson, Benjamin Hastings, and Dean Usher. And I love this song. I know Hillsong. Hillsong sings amazing songs. If you do not know who Hillsong Worship is, I'm like all plugging all these things all over the place today, then please go check out Hillsong Worship. A lot of my songs are inspired from their catalog of songs that they write. So this again is called "Oh Praise His Name." And also, you know, as we end the show, I just want to make sure that we are connected with Instagram, Twitter. You can actually find that. It's going to be on the screen. Instagram, I go by Jamie Claire Music. By Twitter, I go by just Jamie Claire. And I like to post, you know, inspirational quotes. And just really, I would love to stay connected with you more than just on Wednesdays. So please head on over there. Let me know that you've watched the show and that you're connecting via this way so that I can reach out and be like, hey, that's so cool. And it'd be such encouragement. I would really appreciate it. So here we go into worship.
I cast my mind to Calvary, where Jesus bled and died for me. I see his wounds, his hands, his feet, my Savior on that cursed tree. His body bound and drenched in tears, they laid him down in Joseph's tomb, the entrance sealed by heavy stone. Messiah still in alone. Oh, praise the name of the Lord our God. Oh, praise his name forevermore. For endless days we will sing your praise. Oh Lord our God. And on the third, at break of dawn, the Son of Heaven rose again. Oh, trample death, where is your sting? The angels roar for Christ the King. Oh, praise the name of the Lord
beautiful, beautiful song. I love singing Hillsongs, and I love singing worship. So everyone, have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your week. Again, remember to come and let's connect on social media. Let us connect because I want to. Is that a good enough answer? And I believe that you're going to have a wonderful weekend. I believe that you are loved and that you're a child of God, and you just go, be confident, and let's encourage each other. How's that sound? Bye, everyone.
Mystery to the sound of violins. I believe that what you see isn't all when you forgive. I believe that identity is a race to grace. And when you know what I'm singing about, then will you begin? I believe that hope will rise. I believe in a better life. I believe when you rise, you'll rise in the darkest before the